So what we are talking about this evening, we're talking all about, an awesome new hiking trail over in Laos. Laos, fantastic country if you've never really been to it. For me, I went there 10 years ago or something like that. It was an absolutely amazing country, one of my sort of highlights. And Camino Women was the country which a company which I'm a big fan of, that we work with quite closely through Summit Strength. They've actually just put together a cool new hiking trail over there. So today we've got Sophie from Camino Women who's going to be talking about this, doing a bit of presentation, sharing a little bit, and yeah, it's going to be really interesting. So yeah, I'll hand it over to Sophie if you want to give yourself a bit of introduction. And yeah, like get this rolling.
Amazing. Hello, everyone. Sophie, yes, from Camino Women. Lovely to meet you. I'll just quickly check that you can see a beautiful picture of a few ladies hiking there in northern Laos before I go too far. Can you see that? Yeah. Amazing. Wonderful. All right. So, yes, thanks, Rowan. Yes, we work quite closely together. Rowan is our hiking expert for us over at Camino Women. Camino Women is a women's only adventure company, and we organise hikes for women around Australia, New Zealand and Australian women, but around the world. So, we have everything through to Japan, Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan. We have Morocco, Greek islands, Laos being one of my favourites. And I've also just come back from the Peaks of the Balkans hike. So, we have a huge variety, all different fitness levels, which is amazing. So we've got something for everyone. And we do quite small groups as well. So this year we've been doing 12 ladies, but next year will be 14. And essentially it goes really well because you're attracting a like-minded traveler, right? So that's what we're all about. We've got this niche ladies, typically between the ages of sort of 50 and 65, but definitely some younger and some older, all like-minded adventurers coming on our trips. So today I'm talking specifically about the Soum Son Trail in Laos. This is a trail that we've been designing over the last couple of years. And I went there in February to launch this trail. And we call it kind of the Goldilocks of our trips, which is what I'm going to go into a little bit in this presentation. So firstly, yeah, Laos is just a great choice for women who are looking for a gentle but fulfilling adventure. It's close to home, like close to Australia. And it's super affordable once you're there. And honestly, like the locals are the kindest people I've ever met. So it's a really good introduction to a completely different culture without chaos. It really is just like the perfect step into multi-day hiking. So this is Michelle on the left. Michelle was one of our guests who traveled with us. So if you're to join this particular adventure, on a leisure day, you'll still be expecting to have long hours on your feet, maybe between 4 and 6 hours of walking. Whereas for the actual trek, which it comes in the second part of the trip, you can expect to be on your feet from around 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 p.m. in the afternoon. There's regular breaks and there's lots to see. So there's opportunities, to stop for water, lunch, and just to have that cultural interaction. But you will be racking up somewhere between 7 and 10 kilometers, so 10,000 or more steps for the hiking element of the trip. So this particular trail, the Soum Son Trail, is really special because it's a community-based project, and it means that we've worked hand in hand with local villages to create something that's both sustainable and beautiful at the same time. The Soum Son Trail officially launched, as I say, in February while I was there, and I was lucky enough to be the first amongst the other five to head through all of these villages. So in saying that, Camino Women have been looking at building this trail since 2023 because we immediately fell in love with Laos as a destination because it's a really interesting country and reasonably close, as we say. It's also like less developed than other places in Southeast Asia. So we saw this as an opportunity to create something special because I don't know about you guys, but I've been to Thailand, I've been to Cambodia, Vietnam. It's a lot busier in those destinations, whereas Laos is still kind of untouched. I don't know, it's still very magical. All right, so a little bit about the trail. So as I said, I've been traveling through Southeast Asia now for over 20 years, and Laos still holds a kind of magic that's just getting harder to find. Luang Prabang, the picture on the third one in, it's especially beautiful. It's remained unchanged. It's a UNESCO protected town. So development is quite minimal and its charm just like remains intact. And what I love most about Lao people is how kind and gentle and patient they are. There's no like pushy selling, no hard bargaining, just genuine warmth. And tourism hasn't yet overrun this country, which I think is because so many people still live quite simply, So from the first day I met the villagers on the Soum Son Trail, I just felt so welcomed. They just wanted to feed me and dance with me and share their culture. And that's what's so special about this trail. It's just that we get to chance to meet three different ethnic groups. So you'll go through, one night you'll stay with the Lao people, the next night you'll stay with the Khmer people, and then the night after that you'll stay with the Hmong people. And you'll gain a truly authentic glimpse into their everyday lives. The communities are genuinely excited about this project. They've been waiting for us now for a couple of years, and to have the first group come through in February just gave them like such hope, because they see it as like a really rare opportunity. So it's very meaningful to be part of something that brings long-term benefit and connection, for ladies like yourself. So, all right. So we have, as I said, we've got a couple of reviews because we've been running trips to this destination for a couple of years, but this trail specifically just one time. We've managed to sort of got, the reviews are more written about the destination in general. So it's, as I say, you sort of have a really great varied itinerary. So you start the first week, you'll start in Vientiane, which is the capital, and you'll make your way up to Luang Prabang. And then for those few days, you'll visit an elephant sanctuary. You'll have a day on the Mekong River. You will head into this really beautiful rainforest and stay in Nam Kat Yolapa, which is this really incredible resort buried in the middle of the rainforest, and do some really beautiful waterfall walks. And that's all preparing before the hike. The hike takes place, as I say, in the second part of the week. What you'll do, as I say, because you're trekking between the three villages, that trail only exists because the villagers have been using it for years to ferry supplies such as food and water and things for school, etc. So it's not a well-established trail, but it's definitely been used for a long amount of time. And when you get to the homestays each night, the chief will actually allocate where you're going to sleep. He'll allocate a homestay. You'll actually stay in the home with the villagers, and you'll have, very basic surroundings. It'll be a roll-out mattress, a mosquito net, squat toilets, all of those fun things. But how else do you get such an authentic experience? So, fitness level is a fitness level 2. As I said, the Goldilocks of our trip. So it's not too hard, not too easy, just right. So as I say, days on your feet, there's no massive elevation involved in this trail, but it is just about the heat and the long days hiking. It can be a little bit soft underfoot. As you can see on this picture on the top right-hand side, it's sand in some areas. So you need good ankle strength, which is where Rowan can come in and make sure that you're well supported in your training. There's quite a lot of river crossings as well. But the guides, they know this area inside out. We worked with the guides to build this trail, and all the local communities. And then in terms of food as well, we sent through last year like a food hygiene, health and safety training to help them like prepare food for all the ladies who are coming through and make sure that sort of standards are nice and safe. But they're just excited. It's amazing. It's an amazing project. Because we've just got a few people here, I might sort of go around the room and just say, has anybody experienced on any multi-day hiking before? Maybe Margot, I might start with you.
Oh, yes, quite a bit. I'm actually on the older spectrum. I'm 70 already, but we've done lots of multi-day hikes, actually in around the world, to be honest. Lots in New Zealand, lots in Tasmania, some in Alaska, some in Chile. Some of those classic sort of multi-day hikes we've done. So I'm just still determined to keep up my fitness level. I'm really interested in what you're saying. So yeah, I've done lots of multi-day hikes. Anyway.
Oh, that's amazing. Where was your favourite? Would Alaska be your favourite or Chile?
Yeah. Oh, look, I just love New Zealand, to be honest. Yeah. Just, all those, I've done all the, the great walks in New Zealand, the Routeburn and the Milford and all those ones we've done. So, actually, yeah, and I love Tassie as well, the South Coast Track and those ones as well. So, Walls of Jerusalem. So, yeah.
Amazing. Oh, well, you sound, just like one of us, which is great.
Yeah.
And I'd say don't see it as easy, It does, they are long days, especially when you go to the homestay at the end, and you haven't got those home comforts of a nice, like, hot shower and all that. It does mean it can still be a challenge in its own right. And being 70 years old, like, that is not a problem in that it's all about everybody's fitness and ability. And I know on the November departure, there's a couple of ladies sort of more late 60s, early 70s coming along. So that might be something that, could be of interest to you. So be sure to
Yeah.
Wow. And Fiona, how about you? Have you any experience sort of multi-day hiking, or have you been to Southeast Asia before?
Well, I've never been out of Australia yet, so which is bizarre. But anyway, considering I'm 61. But anyway, I've wanted to go to that area for a while, and that's why it caught my eye. Yeah, I've just finished Larapinta about
Oh,
6 weeks ago, so I did the full Larapinta. I've done a couple of other multi-days on the mainland, and I've done the south coast, Tassie, and the overland a few times, and I pretty well walk every weekend in Tassie. So yeah, and I often do overnighters and stuff like that. So yeah, not as experienced as Margot. I haven't done the overseas stuff, but yeah, I get out there basically.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing, and I guess having that like rugged element, doing the overnights as well. That's also great. And funnily enough, yesterday a lady booked. I think she booked the January departure. She also had never left Australia before, so we're supporting her through her first ever overseas trip. She's also chosen Laos of all of our destinations, and I really supported her with that as well. The English over there is not well spoken. So that's something that if you were traveling overseas for the first time, you might want to spend some time learning the local language. It'll just get you a long way. And
Yeah.
it can be confronting with things like squat toilets, and the way they drive is very different to what we're used to. But as I say, in comparison to some other destinations, it's calm. And I think just not being overfaced by people trying to barter with you, trying to get you into their restaurants, and being with a local guide and like-minded women. It's a really great entry level. Yeah, this destination
Excellent.
specifically. Yeah.
I think it's having that cultural experience, which is what interests me. So yeah.
You'd never find it. We've said that as we were walking through. You would never find this trail if it weren't for these local people. It's not where you'd go by accident. And so and these villages that we go through, they'd never seen anybody who wasn't from Laos. So they
Wow.
so they was the first time they'd ever seen Australian people, and they were just fascinated, especially the kids, which was a highlight. So yeah, definitely amazing. And then Linda, how about you? Have you thought about traveling to Laos before? Are you thinking about multi-day hiking? Be on mute. Are you there, Linda? She might not be.
She might just be listening.
Yeah, she might be listening. That's all right. Any questions though about the trail that I can, help with or answer?
Right. I just wondered about the health risk. Is it a malaria area? Is it a dysentery sort of area? Obviously I'm on the older spectrum, but are there particular health risks with water and mosquitoes in Laos?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we book our ladies on, I do always encourage them to go to the GP. It's very much based on your own vaccination history, what they may suggest. So typically the GP will either strongly suggest vaccinations, or they might say, oh, look, if you want to err on the side of caution, I would also suggest this vaccination. So speak with the GP about that. I personally did take malaria tablets because I knew there was a risk of it, but they do make you feel quite nauseous, or make me feel quite nauseous. So that was a good one. And then, sorry, was there another part to that question?
No, that was it. Well, like water, I guess.
Water.
Waterborne diseases.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wouldn't drink the water, but you will be provided with bottled water the entire time, or purified water at very least. So yes, the water is not drinkable.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all right. No, that's actually a really great question. So essentially, so I can go back.
Oh, hi, Sophie.
If you ask, oh, hello. Hi,
Oh,
Linda. How are you?
Hi. So I've just managed to find the unmute button. So apologies I didn't speak before. But yes, I'm definitely here. Madly tapping my phone, go, where is the unmute button? I suppose just to introduce myself, I'm kind of newly retired, just starting to get into walking, haven't done anything overseas, just really starting to do, I guess, a little bit in Australia. So it's very, very first steps for me, really. So, just recently signed up to get the emails, and I suppose learning, all about bone density and breath work and all that sort of stuff. So looking forward to perhaps doing overseas eventually, not quite ready just yet, but really interested in that sort of journey further down the track for me.
I love that. I love that, Linda, and I think I spot an English accent maybe as well.
Yes, yeah.
That's to cover mine up as well. So, actually, I really love what you said there. It sounds as if you're getting to a point of life where you are ready to do something for yourself, and you're sort of testing out what that is exactly. And that is the same for a lot of our travelers, which is really great. That often, maybe they've recently retired, or it might be that they have separated, or the kids have just moved out of home. Whatever the reason, they're just looking to do something, with somebody else and feel independent, but doing it safely as well. So the great thing is, so what we do is you have a start and finish destination for each of our trips, and we'll help you with the flights. You can either book them yourself or go through a travel agent, but we'll advise on like flight plans and things like that, and we'll always collect you from the airport, so you just don't have to worry. After you've come off that long flight, somebody will be there with a Camino Women sign and take you through to your hotel. You might decide you want to stay an extra few nights in that city, which is often the case, and so you can stay there. We'll book extra accommodation, and then it just runs like clockwork. So it's a really great entryway for either whether you've first traveling overseas, first traveling by yourself, first time traveling in a group. It's just the perfect entryway. One lady reviewed and said, step off the plane and turn off your brain, especially for mums as well, who are used to sort of thinking on behalf of like everybody else. It's really nice to just have somebody who's just thought of it, taken care of it, and you just can just enjoy. Yeah, it's really a great way to travel. So yeah, that's all right. As you can tell, I'm passionate about Camino Women, but this trail in particular is just incredibly close to my heart, honestly. And I've done a few of these adventures now, but this one just sticks with me. I think the cultural aspect, as you said, is a highlight. So if you're ever keen to reach out or know a family member or friend who might be interested, there's our contact details there. But I think Rowan's going to provide you with that as well. But we're always happy to chat, and yeah, any questions at all, I'm always happy to be available, whether it's an email or phone.
Awesome. And I'll just sort of add to the end of it, like, for anyone here, today, or obviously watching the future, we got quite a few people watching the replay. We have loads of our hikers who I directly work with who have worked through Camino Women for various adventures, and there's just been such good feedback, and that's why I'm so happy to have this webinar today. And on top of that, for me, I love Laos, as I said before. It's, of all the places I've been in the world, one of my favorite countries. I've only done a little bit of like casual walking. I don't think you'd even classify it as hiking over there. But just the idea of having a hiking trail over there is awesome. Because as Sophie said, it's one of those places where you do feel a little bit more connected. You don't feel a bit more overwhelmed. You can just feel a bit more genuine, I guess, which is sometimes hard to find in the wider world of travel. So yeah, I think it's such a cool thing. So for anyone in the future who is watching this, who does have any follow-up questions, you can see Sophie's contacts or Camino Women's contacts just previously in the video, or if you can reach out to me, I can put you in contact or whatever it may be. But with that being said, and then Margot, Fiona, and Linda, thank you so much for coming on this evening. If you do have any follow-up questions, you can reach out to Camino Women, reach out to me, I can pass it on or whatever it may be. But thank you so much for coming on this evening, Sophie. Really, really do appreciate it. I'll let you know when everything's posted up online and that as well. And Margot, Fiona, Linda, lovely to have you on. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. And we'll chat to everyone sometime soon.
Bye, ladies.
Lovely.
Thanks,
Thank
Rowan.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.